Hello students, welcome to my channel The Educational, and this is Dr. Bharti Gautam and I'm back again with a video from the lesson Lost Spring. We have already had two videos from this lesson, and in one video we discussed about the full description of this lesson, and in another second video we had the character sketches of the main leads from this lesson. And आज की इस वीडियो में we are going to discuss about the central idea and themes of this lesson. As you already know that this lesson has been written by a female Indian writer, Anees Jung, who is very famous for writing about social causes. And this is one of the most powerful pieces in class 12 English textbook. It presents a painful reality of children who are deprived of their childhood because of poverty and social inequality. Through the stories of two young boys, Sahib and Mukesh, the author exposes the harsh truth of child labor and the cycle of poverty that traps millions of children in India. The title itself, Lost Spring, is symbolic. Spring is generally associated with youth, hope, freshness, and new beginnings. In the context of the story, however, spring represents childhood. ये childhood बचपन को दर्शा रहा है spring word, the happiest and most carefree period of time. जिस समय बच्चे खेलते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, वो पीरियड बच्चों का बचपन यहाँ पर दर्शाया गया है, पोर्ट्रे किया गया है by अनीस जंग. The author suggests that for poor children like Sahib and Mukesh, this joyful phase of life is lost. Instead of enjoying their childhood through education, play, and dreams, they are forced to work and struggle for survival. जिस समय उनको पढ़ना है, खेलना है और they have to dream big, वहाँ पर उनको force किया जा रहा है to work so that they can earn some money for their survival. Thus, the central idea and themes of the chapter Lost Spring revolve around poverty, child labor, loss of childhood, exploitation, dreams and aspirations, and the possibility of hope and change. The central idea of this lesson is the tragic loss of childhood among poor children who are forced to do labor due to poverty and social inequality. The chapter highlights how economic hardships and social structures prevent children from enjoying their basic rights such as education, freedom and a carefree childhood. अपना बचपन जो वो खो चुके हैं बच्चे किस तरीके से खोते हैं क्योंकि उनको स्ट्रगल करना पड़ रहा है to earn some money. The author narrates two real-life stories of two characters, Sahib and Mukesh, to illustrate this idea. The first story is about Sahib, a rag picker who lives in Simapuri, a slum on the outskirts of Delhi. Sahib's family migrated from Bangladesh years ago because of poverty and natural disasters. Every day, Sahib and many other children search through garbage dumps to find useful items that they can sell. For them, garbage is not a waste but a source of livelihood. It's just like a goat for them. It is a means of their survival. उनके लिए साहिब जैसे और बच्चों के लिए और साहिब के लिए गोल्ड, जो कि वो गार्बेज को समझते हैं कि इट्स लाइक अ गोल्ड, वो एक मीन्स ऑफ सर्वाइवल हो गया है, उसके बिना उनका गुजारा नहीं चलता. द सेकेंड स्टोरी इज बीइंग फोकस्ड ऑन एन अदर कैरेक्टर विच इज मुकेश, अ बॉय फ्रॉम फिरोजाबाद, अ सिटी फेमस फॉर इट्स ग्लास बैंगल इंडस्ट्री. Mukesh belongs to a family of bangle makers who have been involved in this work for generations. The children of this community grew up working in hazardous factories where molten glass is shaped into bangles. These factories are dark, cramped, and unhealthy. Despite these harsh conditions, Mukesh dares to dream of becoming a motor mechanic and escaping the traditional occupation of his family. इतनी हार्डशिप्स के बाद भी मुकेश इज़ बीइंग वेरी होपफुल फॉर हिज फ्यूचर. वो एक मोटर मैकेनिक बनना चाहता है और वहाँ का जो ट्रेडिशनल ऑक्यूपेशन है, जो व्यवसाय है, उसको छोड़कर वो कहीं अच्छे ऑक्यूपेशन में स्विच करना चाहता है. एंड ही इज़ वेरी पॉजिटिव फॉर हिज ड्रीम्स. Through these two stories, the author shows how poverty forces children to work at a very young age. Instead of attending school and enjoying their childhood, they must contribute to their family's survival. The chapter highlights the injustice of a society where millions of children are denied the opportunity to grow and develop freely. The title Lost Spring is deeply symbolic. It reflects the central message of the character. Spring is a season associated with beauty, renewal, and joy. It represents the blossoming of life and the promises of a bright future. Childhood can be compared to a spring because it is a time of innocence, curiosity, and growth. However, for children like Sahib and Mukesh, the spring of life is lost. They are forced to grow up too soon. Their days are filled with labor, poverty, and struggle rather than happiness and education. The title therefore suggests that society has failed to protect the childhood of these children. And by choosing such a meaningful title, the author, Anis Jung, draws attention to the emotional and psychological impact of poverty on children. Their dreams and opportunities are limited by circumstances beyond their control. One of the most important themes in Lost Spring is poverty. Poverty is the root cause of the problems faced by the children in the story. It forces families to make difficult choices and often leads to child labor. Sahib's family, which has migrated from Bangladesh to Delhi because their family was repeatedly destroyed by storms and floods. They hoped to find a better life in the city. However, they ended up living in a slum area without basic facilities such as proper houses, schools, or health care. To survive, the children collect plastic, bottles, and other waste from the garbage dumps. For Sahib and his friends, garbage is not something disgusting. Instead, it's like gold. It sometimes contains coins, toys, or valuable items that can be sold so that they can earn some money. जिससे कि वो अपना उसको बेचकर पैसा कमा सकें और अपना गुजारा कर सकें. This shows how poverty changes people's perceptions and priorities. What is waste for one person may be a treasure for another. Similarly, Mukesh's family in Firozabad lives in extreme poverty. The entire community depends on the glass Bengal industry for survival. Even though the work is dangerous and poorly set, the families have no alternative. Poverty traps them in this occupation generation after generation. Through these examples, the author shows that poverty is not just a lack of money. It's a condition that affects every aspect of life, including education, health, and opportunities. Another major theme in the chapter is child labor. Child labor refers to the practice of employing children in work that deprives them of their childhood and education. Sahib works as a rag picker from an early age Instead of going to school, he spends his days searching through garbage dumps. Later, he starts working at a tea stall where he earns a small wage and receives food. Although this job gives him some security, it also takes away his freedom. Now, Mukesh, on the other hand, works in a glass bangle factories of Firozabad, जहाँ उन्हें आग के सामने फर्नेसेस के सामने घंटों बैठना पड़ता है where glass is melted at extremely high temperatures. The workers, including children, inhale toxic fumes that damage their lungs and eyes. Health problems उनको frequently हर person को face करनी पड़ती है due to all these factors. जो जहरीला जो धुआं है वो उनकी लंग्स को और उनकी आइज़ को डैमेज कर रहा है. Many workers eventually lose their eyesight. These examples highlight the harsh reality of child labor in India. Millions of children are forced to work because their families cannot afford them to school. This prevents them from improving their lives and escaping poverty. The author uses the stories of Sahib and Mukesh to draw attention to this serious social issue and encourage readers to think about the importance of protecting children's rights. The loss of childhood is perhaps the most emotional theme in Lost Spring. Childhood is supposed to be the time of play, learning, and imagination. However, the children in this story are denied these experiences. Sahib's childhood is spent among garbage dumps. He walks barefoot and wears worn-out clothes. When the author asks him why he does not wear shoes, he replies that his mother says that shoes get lost in the mud. This response reflects the normalization of poverty in his life. They have accepted their poverty. They have accepted their conditions they are going through. उन्होंने उन सभी conditions को accept कर लिया, स्वीकार कर लिया है और they have become normal. Mukesh's childhood is spent in dark factories where he works long hours making bangles. The environment is unhealthy and unsafe. The children in Firozabad grow up surrounded by the glow of furnaces rather than the light of education. The chapter Lost Spring shows how poverty forces children to take on adult responsibilities at a very young age. They must work to support their families instead of enjoying the freedom of childhood. The story also highlights the theme of social injustice. The poor communities described in the chapter are exploited by powerful people such as middlemen, moneylenders, and factory owners. In Firozabad, the Bengal industry is controlled by a network of traders and businessmen who earn large profits. The workers, however, receive very little money for their labor because they are uneducated and indebted. They cannot challenge the system. The families remain trapped in poverty because they lack access to education and resources. The author suggests that the problem is not just individual but systematic. Society allows such exploitation to be continued. This theme encourages readers to think about the responsibility of society and government in addressing poverty and inequality. Despite the harsh realities of their lives, the children in this lesson, Lost Spring, still have dreams and aspirations. These dreams reveal their desire for a better future. Sahib dreams of wearing shoes and living a comfortable life. His small dreams reflect the limited opportunities available to him. Mukesh, however, has a big dream. He is having big dreams. He wants to be a motor mechanic and work in a garage. Unlike the other boys in the community, he refuses to accept the traditional occupation of Bengal making. Mukesh's determination is significant because it shows that change is possible. Even in difficult circumstances, individuals can hope for a better and different future. Although the chapter exposes many social problems, it also contains a message of hope. Mukesh represents the possibility of change and progress. When the author asks him if he is afraid to pursue his dreams, he confidently replies that he will walk to a garage and learn the work. His courage suggests that determination and education can help people break free from poverty. The author uses Mukesh's story to inspire readers and encourage them to believe in the power of dreams. Through Lost Spring, Anis Jung adopts the role of a social observer. She interacts with the children and listens to their stories. Her writing combines personal experience with social commentary. The author does not simply describe the suffering of the children, she also questions the systems and attitudes that allow such conditions to exist. Her narrative style is empathetic and reflective, encouraging readers to feel compassion and responsibility. The chapter delivers a strong social message also about the importance of protecting children's rights. Every child deserves the opportunity to receive education, enjoy freedom, and pursue their dreams. The child labor and poverty prevent millions of children from achieving their potential. By highlighting these issues, the author urges society to take action. The society which is not aware of all these seems to be not aware of all these issues. The story reminds readers that social change requires awareness, empathy, and collective effort. In order to conclude this video, The Lost Spring is a powerful and thought-provoking chapter that exposes the harsh reality of poverty and child labor. Through the lives of two characters, Sahib and Mukesh, the author shows how millions of children lose their childhood due to economic hardships and social inequality. The central idea of the chapter is the loss of childhood caused by poverty and exploitation. The themes of poverty, childhood, loss of childhood, child labor, social injustice, dreams, and hopes are explored in depth. Despite the grim realities described in the story, the character of Mukesh offers hope for the change. His determination to pursue a different path symbolizes the possibility of breaking the cycle of poverty. Ultimately, the chapter Lost Spring serves as a reminder that childhood should be a time of joy and learning. It calls upon society to ensure that every child has an opportunity to experience the spring of life fully and freely. So this was all for this video. And till next video, goodbye. And do subscribe to my channel, The Educational 310.